Massive thank you to WSR, Lumpy, Vincent, David and Marcus for subscribing to the channel. If you're not featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 6 of season 2 of the F1 22 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we returned here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Yes, once again back at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Of course, if you missed out on the last race that went live at the end of last week from Miami, a fantastic race trying to scrap our way back through the field there in a brilliant last lap battle that I would highly recommend you guys going back and checking out. As well, of course, though, a massive thank you for all the continued support on the channel. At the time of recording this, 75k, we've ticked through that. Like I keep saying, you know, we're well on our way to 80,000 subscribers at the moment. Of course, the big goal of 100k by the end of the year. Would definitely appreciate it if you could help me get one step closer to that as well there. But yeah, this weekend though, like we said, heading back to Spain, often not been the best track for me in the world. However, we have had a few more upgrades on the car. I mean, it is so close pretty much from Haas down to the rear of the field here that it is anyone's game each and every weekend there. Aero still not our strongest point on the V2 Challenger of the 2 and 2 Motorsport car. Championship-wise, though, still currently sat inside the top 10 overall. They're just ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and in 9th place there. Constructors-wise, we're comfortably in 6th at the moment. A little way behind Alpine, a little way ahead of Aston Martin just behind us. And I think, you know, if we can solidify P6 in the first half of this championship, that won't exactly be a bad run of form either here. But yeah, Barcelona, like I said, often been a bit of a tough track for ourselves, so fingers crossed this weekend things can go our way. Well, here we are then, back in Barcelona. I know we've already raced at Imola this season, but this is really where it does feel like the European leg of the championship really starts, of course. Here, got Spain this weekend, Monaco next weekend, Baku after that. I know we then head out to Canada, and then, of course, yeah, the likes of Silverstone, Austria, Le Castellet, Hungary, and then you're pretty much at the summer break here. I know I've forgotten one track at least from that list. But yeah, fingers crossed though, like I said, we can just keep piling on the upgrades at the moment. And of course, that'll require us to get some good purple scores in free practice. Feel like we're slowly getting the car down. Of course, like we always keep talking about, you know, the new patch, it's been very controversial. And I feel like I'm slowly adjusting to it more and more. But it's a very big change, and it has certainly nerfed both our cars on F1 22 at the final corner. Then first practice program is going to be very tight there. It's just a little use of battery out the final turn. That's only going to be the green score though, but I think that's going to have to do. Final corner then, finishing off the ERS test. That was surprisingly easy. Don't often find them that easy to do. But a purple score, we'll absolutely have it. Let's get into qualifying then, here from Barcelona. Before we jump into that though, I just wanted to let you know of a brilliant competition going on hosted by Imperium Experiences. Have you ever wanted to attend the Italian Grand Prix? Yes, the home of Ferrari, the Temple of Speed, and of course the mighty Tifosi. Imperium Experiences are offering you the chance to win 2 tickets for the weekend and a 3-night stay at a 4-star hotel. All you have to do is enter their competition on their site linked down below in the description or my bio, and you could be off out to Monza. The competition is limited to just 900 entries, however, and closes on the 6th of August, so make sure if you want to get involved to do it as soon as possible. Currently, they're also offering an extra promotion where if you buy 2 entries, you get a 3rd completely free, increasing your chances to win at an incredibly cheap price. They even have a handy guide on their site on how to enter, so I would definitely recommend checking it out, and a massive thank you to them for sponsoring this video. Well, we have struggled in recent qualifying sessions on F1 22, so I'm going to throw a bit of caution to the wind this weekend. And I know often sort of the aim on F1 22 is just to take off as much aero as you possibly can. This weekend we're actually going to run quite high wings. I think I'm running about 30-36, just so we're hopefully going to be quick in qualifying and launch ourselves up the order a bit. Might leave us a little bit stranded down the straights come race day, but I want to just be able to hang on through the corners and hopefully then just be able to hang with cars a bit better and maybe jump them back if we can get a good run out of the final corner. It's a risky strategy, but I think one, you know, we need to start trying a few different things on F1 22 at the moment. just to make sure we've got a car that can fight week in, week out. And, of course, just gain a little bit of extra data, a bit of extra experience as well. End of my first lap. Then it's felt pretty tidy for the most part out of the final corner. An 18.3 puts us between Perez, Piastri quicker than K-Mag as well, though. So hopefully that's a promising sign. I feel like at the moment we've basically done a Haas in F1 22 so far. We built a car that's really, really good down the straights, but through the corners we are still really, really struggling at the moment. But yeah, like I said, we've whacked on a lot of aero. We're currently sat down in P16, so close to the drop zone. But there's definitely a lot more pace to find in the car, and Spain is often a track where the AI can be phenomenal over one lap pace. So we try to avoid the curb through turn 1. Completely pinned, of course, through turn 3. How am I still losing delta when my foot is to the floor? Still in the red at the moment as we head into sector 3. Still trying to work out my braking point down into that corner there as the back end now starting to fight me. Maybe just taking a bit too much out the rears so far on this lap there to really try and run nice and wide at the top of the hill. Nice and tidy through the final chicane, third gear on the exit, try and put the throttle down as best as possible. We have certainly found a bit of time through the final couple of corners. Quarter of a second is nice, but it's only going to bolster me up to P13. We're going to need a mega last run here if we want to make it into Q2. Well, trying to build up some temperature then in the car as we get ready to start my final lap here in Q1. We're still not quite in the drop zone just yet. We're still up in P15. But everyone else, of course, is going to be trying to improve as well there. And the likes of Sergio Perez, surely he's not going to go out in Q1 once again there for Red Bull. That would be an absolute disaster for the Mexican. It's nice and tidy on the brakes down at turn 1. Just trying to be a bit braver through turn 2. We know we can carry the speed through turn 3 there, which you can already see. Half tenth up as we head out onto turn 4 and into sector 2 there. Try and connect the car up with the curbs. Or not, apparently. Just got a little bit too optimistic on the throttle there, and that is just how hard we're trying to drive the car at the moment. Maybe just we'll sneak through into Q2, but now it's that horrible moment. P16, we're just getting relegated down the order. Gasly can only go 17th, though, as I think Perez has improved. Piastri is the one to knock me out there, and we are out in Q1 for the Spanish Grand Prix, the third time in a row we've not seen Q2. What has happened to our qualifying pace? Having a look then at the final Q1 results. George Russell fastest ahead of Hamilton and Lando Norris there, but further down the order, Oscar Piastri just sneaks by in at P16 there, but we were only half a tenth away from my teammate, and definitely felt, we could have probably got sort of a mid to high 17 in Q2, but yeah, a real mix of cars actually out in Q1 though. Zhou Guanyu for Alfa Romeo, myself for 212 Motorsport, Gasly for AlphaTauri there, Latifi and Stroll, of course, Williams and Aston Martin, and Felipe Drugovich for Haas there. So yeah, quite an array of different cars out in Q1, but we desperately need to find more qualifying pace, and now we might be in for a long race with how high the wings are, but fingers crossed we can just find something else. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. It's a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016, after that dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat out this weekend. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Russell, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Ricciardo, Perez, Sainz and Esteban Ocon, Albon, Mick Schumacher, Oscar Piastri and Magnussen, Schwartzman, Tsunoda, Mr. Monaco and Pierre Gasly, Latifi, Stroll, Drugovich and Guan Yu Zhou. And now it's time to head down to the track. And joining me again for the race today, Natalie Pinkham. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Right, well here we are then, trackside for the Spanish Grand Prix, round 6 of the year there, and once again the story of Saturday was not one that I want to retell all too often, but of course, yeah, need to pop up a little bit of extra fuel in the tank ready for today. Yeah, really not too sure how I'm feeling about this one at Spain. Like I said, it's certainly not a track that I've always loved either in a Formula 1 car. Don't mind it in GTs and things like that, but yeah, it's just never really suited me in F1. But, that being said, you know, sometimes you can see some differing strategies around this circuit as well. I think we've just got to hope for the best today and try to push forward, of course. As always, though, formation lap, first of all, one of the longest runs in towards turn 1 on the F1 calendar. So, tyre temperature, absolutely critical, as Pierre Gasly alongside me is starting on the soft, so he's probably going to romp past me down towards turn 1 anyway. Right, by virtue then of Zhou Guan Yu's grid penalties today, we are in an AlphaTauri sandwich for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. How long will remain in one though is a very, very different question. It's nice to see Oscar Piastri is becoming more and more comfortable with the car with each and every qualifying session. They're starting up in P13. No! I hadn't finished yet, I was still trying to apply the throttle. Ready though on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix, round 6 of the year, 5 red lights. And it is going to be a long hold, but lights out, and away we go. Pierre Gasly, as you would expect, going to get a much better start than me. It's same as Lance Stroll, who, is also on a set of soft compound tyres there as we head down towards turn 1. Everyone just trying to jockey for position. We're going to go a bit aggressive there up the inside of the Canadian, as Gasly and I almost come together on the exit of turn 1 there, but we have to use the extra aero early on there. Is really trying to muscle Pierre Gasly out. You can see Stroll and Schwartzman getting a little bit tangled up as we head towards the top of the hill. Whoa, myself and Stroll both trying to go for a move on Yuki Tsunoda there. He doesn't know whether to go defensive to the inside or defensive on the outside there, but we think we're both going to make the move stick there. So Stroll and I both trying to be aggressive at the start of the Grand Prix. There's a tiny bit of contact with Tsunoda as we try and put the power down with heavy fuel there. You can see Piastri battling the other Aston Martin up the hill. There's even more contact with Yuki as we both try and squeeze each other as we head side by side through turn 9 there. Luckily we're going to have the speed off the corner still on the inside as we head down in towards turn 10, and shortly now we're going to be able to make the move work there. Just slam the door on Yuki on the exit, so we haven't gained, haven't lost anything then off the start of the Grand Prix. It seems like a lot of cars have sort of shuffled around, but no one's really done a huge amount here as Constantina and up the inside of Lance will go. Always going to take the opportunities early on in the Grand Prix. We really have to get our elbows out today as Hamilton leads the way then at the end of lap 1. I'm pretty certain it is Lando Norris, George Russell and then Bottas, followed by the Ferraris, the Red Bulls and the Alpines. But nice to see we do still appear to have competitive top-end speed. But of course, I think the key today is DRS trains and trying to make sure we hang close to the cars in front and just try and sit comfortable. But it really hasn't taken long here before Pierre Gasly is back on the offensive. The AlphaTauri car certainly not as strong as it's been in recent years. Look at that Gasly! How can he not do anything on the run back down towards turn 1 there? We got up towards 8th gear, and Pierre just seemed to get stuck behind us as we still had a little bit of energy to use to try and defend myself there. But Pierre Gasly, you can see, he can stick with me through the corners, but top-end speed The AlphaTauri's got nothing, and of course I thought I was running ridiculously high wings here. That's a reassuring sign then early on. Or is it just that the AlphaTauri is incredibly slow? As we come to the end of lap 5, they're still the front runners trading fastest laps, but it's already not looking great for Pierre Gasly, as he's just starting to even lose a little bit of touch of me early on in the GP, but starting to gain a bit on Robert Schwartzman as well. I'll try and line up a move back down towards turn 1. Don't think we're quite going to be close enough this time round, but Schwartzman just seems to be losing a little bit of touch from Oscar Piastri in front. But yeah, Gasly, I reckon those soft tyres are already, you know, the transfer of pace is starting to occur. It's just not the start that Stroll or Pierre would have wanted. They took a bit of a gamble. And I must admit, I've probably been the one that's kind of ruined it for them. But I, funnily enough, don't care. Yeah, I mean, it looks like everyone at the moment is stuck in a bit of a DRS train there, apart from maybe Oscar in front of us. Hasn't got the DRS on the cars in front of him, but unfortunately... Oh, there we go, Schwartzman, big lock-up down at turn 1, and we will say thank you very much for that one. Just hit the apex, and the move was completed because of it. Luckily, he stayed ahead of Pierre Gasly just behind. Yeah, if we can get past Piastri, though, we might be able to start closing up to those few cars in front. But yeah, K-Mag also on softs just behind, I think it's Alex Albon. So we're not far away from the point still here early on. And the car does tend to come alive a bit more on the hard tyres later on in a race. So one that later then, what is the top end speed going to be like in comparison to our teammate Oscar Piastri? Oh, we are gaining so much on our Australian counterpart there as we head back down towards turn 1. Oh, Oscar Piastri, though, not wanting to back out of it. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there, as I think our teammate had hoped just to squeeze me out, but you're going to have to be up a little bit earlier than that in the morning. Want to try and slam the door on me. Tiny bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, but I think they both got away with it. And now we've got to try and close up to K-Mag and Albon. Qualifying pace might still be awful at the moment, but yeah, maybe the race pace still is somewhat more of a representative. Starting lap 11 then, looks like Kevin Magnussen's teammate Lance Stroll has dived into the pit lane. Same can be said for Pierre Gasly. We are taking a fair chunk of time out of the Williams and the Aston Martin driver, but like I said, yeah, I think K-Mag's probably going to be in very soon. I'm trying to have a look at our tyres, to be honest. You know, I'm trying to think if we could extend the stint to about lap 20. Whoa, then maybe we could try and go softs to the end and be a lot quicker than a lot of cars, but yeah, not really too sure we'd be able to double the length of this set. We'll give it a go, but no promises. So there we go. I'm almost a fortune teller. Kevin Magnussen into the pits, then promotes us up into P13. Alex Albon still 2 seconds up the road there, and sort of looking at it, I think there's about 2 to 3 seconds separating each car between us and the top 10. Certainly feel it's game on today, but still not going to be easy. The gap now getting very close between myself and Albon to that mythical 1 second margin. As yeah, we are definitely quicker than Mick Schumacher just up the road. Certainly not by the same pace, but we are definitely getting a little bit closer to the Haas car as well there. Team on us in, like I said, though, at the end of this lap. But definitely feel like we need to try and extend the stint at least 1 lap longer. Of course, it will then just depend on what Oscar wants to do. He'll probably want to come in end of 16, so we may as well go end of 17, but I mean, yeah, by that point we may as well see what the tyres are still hanging on like, and then make the call whether it's worth trying to gamble it onto softs to the checkered flag and extend to about 20. It's all very complicated here. So are we going to see our first batch of cars into the pit lane? Is one of them going to be Alex Albon in the Grand Prix? Yes, it is. Albon in at the end of lap 15 there. Mick Schumacher also in, as well as a few others. One of the Alpines there are Carlos Sainz. So we are briefly going to be inside the top 10 then of this Grand Prix. So we're going to come out right next to Charles Leclerc in this GP around the outside of the Ferrari at turn 1. Don't mind if I do. So yeah, I really don't think there's much point in making it difficult for Charles Leclerc in this Grand Prix. We've got a few green flags out, so clearly someone had issues somewhere. Here comes Charles, down the inside he goes. It's Daniel Ricciardo, his teammate, is going to re-emerge very, very close there. Kevin Magnussen out of the GP as all the Ferraris do come together there through turn 1. We now get the jump on Daniel Ricciardo as well, almost accidentally. But K-Mag out then of the Grand Prix, so at least that's some pressure from a car in front that we won't have to try and navigate anymore, because I kind of forgot about him. In lap 17, I'm sure Ricciardo is about to fly back past us, but yeah, we are still setting fairly decent times. Pace definitely starting to fall off a little bit more as here comes Danny Rick down the inside. I don't really want to battle the Australian all too long here. But again, he just can't make the move, and I'm not going to throw away time myself just to sit in his dirty air there. But tyre wear warning light has now come on, so we have just got to be a bit careful of that. But I certainly don't feel these tyres have fallen off just yet. We can get to the end of 20, we may as well gamble it, so we've got some chance of points. Come on, Daniel Ricciardo, surely you can't make more of a hash of this than you already have there. He's not even gaining on me as we head down towards turn 1. What is Daniel Ricciardo doing in this Grand Prix? Why is this going to be the biggest battle we've had so far this afternoon with a front-running Ferrari? I mean, it's not quite last year's car, but it's certainly no slouch still, especially in comparison to the vehicle we're driving. But yeah, I mean, we're doing all right still. This race is hopefully turning around, but now I'm getting a little bit worried that we might get undercut. Right, lap 20 then, just going to confirm with the team that we are going to be boxing at the end of this one, as Daniel Ricciardo still cannot get past me there. I don't know what is going on in the Australian's head, but he's still sat behind us. I mean, we're using a lot of battery down the straight, so we may as well at the moment. It's just free time, and we might as well claim there. But of course, we went for an aggressive strategy last year at Suzuka. Almost paid off for us going medium soft. It would be something else to try and do it at Spain, but we've done the hard work on the mediums. Just how long those softs will last. There we go, team giving us a bit of a different warning to normal. Yeah, these tyres are certainly now at the end of their sensible life. But I mean, we're not getting ridiculous amounts of wheel spin or anything like that as we round our way through the final chicane, though. Just going to make sure we head into the pits nice and tidy. There is a huge boatload of understeer on the way in. Make sure we get the car slowed down nice and tidily into the pit lane. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure where we are going to re-emerge though. Here, as you can see already now, this is the battle we're going to have to keep our eye on. It's Esteban Ocon sat in P10, as hopefully we can get a nice clean tidy pit stop onto our soft compound tyres. Not great, not bad though either, as we are going to re-emerge right by Alex Albon still. Here comes Pierre Gasly as we head out of the pit lane here. We really want to stay ahead of the Alpha Tauri. He's going to try and hook it up around the outside there. Of course, we got cold rubber though, so we're really going to have to park the bus through these first few corners. But I think we might just have done enough there. And Pierre Gasly, just like he spent the first few laps of the Grand Prix, he's still going to be stuck behind me. But now P13, we've got a lot of potential pace in the car, but we have to stagger ourselves to the end of the race. Make sure these tyres are quick right through to the end. It's going to be about a 9-second gap to Ocon to close up, but I certainly think in 12 laps we can do that. Softs versus hards. I think honestly for me, one of the most impressive things about this extra long first stint was the fact we only lost about 2 seconds to Albon by the time we came out of the pit lane there, and of course that includes trying to get the tyres up to temperature as well. Yeah, we really do. I feel like I've got a chance still here as the gap to Mick Schumacher already back down to 3. Pretty certain that was less than it was at any point early on in the Grand Prix. We've just got to get to Ocon, get past him, and then save tyres desperately to the checkered flag. Actually tried to time when I close up to Alex Albon on the circuit on this lap to make sure we're not getting too much dirty air from him. I know it doesn't affect the handling like it did back on F1 2021, but it does still, I think, affect the tyre life quite badly here as we head out of the final corner. DRS, ERS activated, gaining on the Williams there. Is going to go defensive on me, sail to the outside of Alex Albon, and softs versus hards. Second time I've had a wheel-to-wheel contact down at turn 1, but a lot less worried that time round, as we've just got so much more grip. Next up, Mick Schumacher, and now we can see the gap to Esteban Ocon, 5 seconds with 10 laps to go. The team want me to box again though at the end of lap 27, but I certainly don't think we're going to be doing that at the moment, as gap to Ocon now down under 3 seconds there. However, we're probably going to have to sit behind Mick Schumacher for this lap, and that means we're not going to take much time out of Esteban. I think the gap between these two is staying pretty level at the moment, but yeah, we're still just pushing. You know, it's horrible feeling of every lap, you know, you keep trying to tell yourself not to take too much out of the tyres, and then every lap to keep the gap coming down as much as it was, you just feel like you're rolling on them a little bit harder each and every time through here. But we've got to try and make it work. I mean, this was certainly a risk worth taking today, otherwise we wouldn't have had any chance of scoring points. But I just don't want to start finishing P11 as I have it on F1 22 there. Need to get past Mick though. down the home straight. All over the back of Mick Schumacher then as we start lap 28. Are we going to be able to get a run on the Haasman? As we head down towards turn 1, to the outside we go. And we should be clean ahead of him. No, we're not. Mick Schumacher. Oh, he tried to keep the nose there as I tried to commit to the corner. All at the same time, but we do make the move work on the Haas. And now we've got 6 laps to go of the Spanish Grand Prix there. Gap to Ocon down to 2.8. But these tyres certainly aren't providing us with the same grip they once had. We've got to dig deep though. We've still got a pace advantage.
Still looking good.
Well, as we come towards the end of lap 30, I think we're just having to accept the reality at the moment that Esteban Ocon and that Alpine might just be a little too quick for us. It's heartbreaking, but as we get in towards the final 3 laps of this GP, tyres already up to 60%. I didn't realise they were that bad already in this Grand Prix, so we really are going to try and nurse them through to the checkered flag there. Mick Schumacher still a couple of seconds back. Like I said, though, it was definitely the right choice today in terms of getting us to the checkered flag in the fastest way. We might as well have just tried something different here to bring home some points for the team, but yeah, we desperately need more upgrades going on the car at the moment. We have got plenty in the works over the next few weekends, but yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it, at the end of the day. But I want to get back into the points now. We ran so well in the opening 3 races of the championship, and ever since Imola, we just haven't quite had the same luck or success. As we ran the final couple of turns then, ready to start the last lap of the Grand Prix, I think Mick Schumacher and Alex Albon have both just sensed I'm a little bit vulnerable here. We're certainly not in a great place late on in the GP, and like I said, 11th is probably one of the most depressing places to finish in a Formula 1 race, because you're just so close to the points that you may as well finish last. Of course, unless you're on countback, which we certainly aren't, but yeah, we've certainly got plenty of fuel come the end of this Grand Prix. But I think we're just going to have to use some battery on the final lap just to make sure we keep Mick Schumacher at bay. But round in the final couple of corners though, it was the first race last weekend where Mercedes didn't get a 1-2. Hamilton walks away though with another dub and further extends his championship lead there. George Russell right behind him with fastest lap there. No, Bottas claims it, as it's yet another British 1-2-3 there with Lando Norris on the podium in his McLaren there. I think it's Verstappen ahead of Charles Leclerc 5th and 6th there, with Perez in 7th. Sorry, I must have missed Perez in 7th, even it was the other Ferrari of Daniel Ricciardo in 7th there. But we're just really hanging on right at the end of this Grand Prix there. Like I said, it was a gamble. We absolutely had to go for it though today to give us any chance of scoring points there. We can just see how much the car is struggling as we're all over the show. So is Albon and Mick Schumacher though. Has Albon just got the jump on Mick? Has Mick lost a place again? Yes, he has, in the final sector of a Formula 1 race. But P17 to P11 will take it.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé. So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their head when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that has allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and stay out of trouble.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Spanish Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton, pole position, race victory there. Doesn't quite take the fastest lap. That was actually being mainly traded by the McLarens towards the end of the Grand Prix there. But George Russell, P2, means Mercedes, yeah, back on top once again there. Not the perfect weekend, only 43 of the 44 points there, but I certainly don't think they're going to be too upset with, yeah, another 1-2 at the end of the day. Lando P3, like we said, ahead of Bottas, Leclerc, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Perez, and both Alpines rounding out the top 10 there. And I mean, really at the moment, you know, those 5 teams have just got that bit extra over the rest of us. So I think, yeah, to finish in P11 once again really does prove we are still the best of sort of that second class in Formula 1 at the moment there. You can see just Kevin Magnussen, who didn't make it through to the checkered flag championship-wise, though. Hamilton, yeah, opens up the gap to 19 points now as Bottas gets the jump on Charles Leclerc there, up into P3. You kind of forget just how consistent Leclerc has been early on in the year there. We're still now inside the top 10, though, but we have been jumped by Daniel Ricciardo, as you probably would expect at this early stage of the season there. Mercedes, though, 159 points clear overall in the Constructors' Championship is just an absolutely insane stat at the moment. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and we will return very, very soon. It's back to the duel in the Formula 1 crown. We'll be back very, very soon, ready for the Monaco Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.